enjoyed the seminars at the USA Martial Arts Hall of Fame. Yeah, I'll check us out.
You want to try that one more time? All right. Now what I'm doing here, as I'm blocking off, I'm simply taking control of his arm, right? Now I'm not moving a lot because it doesn't take a lot of movement. But just like a sword, right? Once I step in, swing the sword, right? Just like you're chopping down with the sword. All right? Give me another strike. That's fine. All right. I don't know, just get a little bit, sir, so I don't want to hurt you or anything. So, but control and subdue is, as you merge in, you want to take control of the person completely, right? So you don't have to fight. In a professional environment, as far as bodyguard work goes, if you're going to protect your client, then you want to make sure that the threat is neutralized before it gets to your client, right? But there are ways to neutralize the threat without actually hurting someone, and that's what we concentrate on in our law enforcement teaching. Okay, so let me get a punch again. All right, so when I come here, taking control, always at the control point, all right? So once I take control of the body, I've already infiltrated the structure, all right? So I'm just gonna take him and make him do what I want him to do. As long as his body is always in a situation where it doesn't want to be, then I have complete control and I can make him do what I want him to do, all right? Right. Not gonna put you down. Okay. So again, throw that punch. As I come off and I grab the wrist, I'm rolling the elbow up. All right. As the elbow goes up, thumb goes down. That's when you have the control. Right here on top of the elbow. Okay. Now again, when I say on top of that elbow, throw that punch again. Turn him around. Take control. Right from the top of the elbow. Grab, neck grab, all right? So if I come here, take control of that elbow, and now we can walk, all right? So I'm taking away from my client, but I have control of it, all right?
Aren't you glad you volunteered?
Go for that grab again. All right?
Yeah.
Taking that control, always taking control. Grab again. All right, now when it comes to controlling and subduing, a lot of times there's not much you have to do. All right? You take control. Now this is what I call a leverage point. All right? Now you see? Because you're gonna do what you want them to do once you take control of the leverage point. Now all I'm doing here, grab again. Go for the ribs, all right? That layer of skin on top of the ribs, I'm just gonna grab a hold of it. All right, so I take control of his body. As long as he's on his tippy toes, I've infiltrated his structure and I have complete control, right? So I can step behind and sweep. I can take control, throw him, or turn him around, whatever I want to do with it, right? All right. Above the elbow. Thank you, sir. Stand up. And this is another leverage point. All right. Anywhere on the body where you have skin on top of bone or loose skin on top of muscle, all right? It's called pain compliance. And that's what we do it for. We're gonna gain pain compliance. Go for a grab one more time. So, depending on how big, how strong your opponent is, different things that you can do, right? but this creates your complete control. When you want to put them down, you put them down. When you want to take them with you, you can take them with you. All right? Sir, can you keep me right? Can you keep me right? No, but we have to go, so let's do it. So we're gonna take control, and we're gonna make our opponent do what we want them to do without expending too much energy, right? So a lot of things we do, not only grabbing and striking, but learning how to approach people and how to control them before they know they're being controlled. So if I approach this man, I say, hey, come here, we're gonna go take a walk, all right? Turn out, go, just go your own way. There's no control there, right? But it's simple things that you can do to ensure that you have control. So if I'm gonna approach him, I wouldn't grab around. I'm gonna come in, all right? Come on, sir, let's take a walk. Turn out and go your own way, all right? So you create the control and you keep control. Now from here, plenty of things that you can do. So if he tries to get slick or decides he wants to fight, then
Not much fighting that guy right
there's
now.
not too much fighting he can do, right? Okay, so
You look ridiculous.
that's what we call control and subdue. So go grab it. All right, now with this move, it's got a pretty good grip, right? So first I'm gonna come to this leverage point. Body's disrupted immediately. Right? Now after I disrupt the body with the leverage point, I'll come in here and I'll grab another point. Right? That's just gonna loosen them all the way up. Make sure you can't fight. As I peel them off, notice that the elbow comes up, the wrist comes back, lock the elbow. Whole time I'm still gonna hold on to this leverage point just in case he might want to strike. Okay? So as you can see, every time I grab the points, disrupts his body, right? Now also, as I'm here on the back of the elbow and I have the wrist, all I have to do is close my hands, right? And that's completing the lock, right? So, but I don't want to lock him up and give him an opportunity to try to get out of it. So as soon as I lock him up, I'm gonna put him down, right? Bring him down, then I'll come up under it. Bring him back up. Come on, sir. Bring it down, and we're gonna take a walk, all right? All right, so this is how we control people without fighting. Look for a choke from behind me. Once I feel the choke coming from behind me, I'm gonna tuck my chin, all right? After I tuck my chin, I'm coming and I'm looking for my open. He's behind my head. Take their wrist. All right. This is another control and subdue position. Because I'm supinated on and I have control of the neck. So if I separate a little bit, you see the pain. You see that it causes the complaint. So you can walk forward. All right. You can walk backwards. We put them down. Right. And another thing, okay, let me see, you got a 2-piece. Give me with a 2-piece and a biscuit. 2 pieces.
1, 2.
All right, let me see your 2 pieces. 1, 2. Okay, now, slow that down a little bit, bring it straight to my chin. 1, 2. All right, now notice, I'm not blocking like traditional blocks, right? I'm not throwing them down, only thing I'm doing, right, coming on top, right here at the elbow. Throw the other one, catch up under the elbow. Right now, if that punch is coming straight, everybody knows that when you're blocking a strike, it doesn't take much at all, right? Just a little misdirection. Because once your punch is coming, it's locked in. So just block it. Just a little misdirection will take it off course. Throw that 2 piece again. So if I'm gonna block, no, all right? And I'm coming here at the control point. There's always a reason for that. All right, we allow 2 strikes, but we don't allow any more than 2 strikes, right? Because like I said, you don't want to fight, you want to control your opponent. So when that 2-piece comes, and I see it coming, I recognize it, and I come up under it, I'm taking that strike off, and I can merge into him now, right? I told you the safest place to be in a fight is here, right? Once I have him here, there's not too much he can do. So, as that comes, that 2-piece comes, 1, 2, I come up under. Now, all right? So now I can switch to one hand, now I can change my lock up. Either way, let's go, sir. Let's take a walk. Now, in the body is always misconstrued because in a occupational situation, you want everyone around. You may be working in teams, you may have backup coming, but you want everyone around you to see what's going on and know where the threat is. So every time I disrupt his body, it's gonna look out of the ordinary, right? So I want my backup to know exactly what's going on. So if I don't put him down, I'm gonna take him with me, but he's always gonna be twisted up. You see that 2 pieces? Right? Inside the elbow, right? Now that I'm here, the higher I come with this arm, the more disrupted he's gonna be, right? I'm simply using this to control. So as I bring him up, I lock my hands. Now, as long as his elbow is as high or higher than his shoulder, then that gives me control. So I'm not gonna be out here closer to the elbow. I'm gonna be closer to the shoulder. All right, so bring him up, make him stand up. Now from here, once I decide that I wanna walk him, I'm simply gonna grab the wrist, turn him around to and separate it. Separate the wrist from the neck, right? So we're gonna go walk forward. Can you stand up straight, sir?
Oh, no, thank you.
Can you
I cannot.
try to straight? All right. So. All right.
Oh.
So, situation like this, you're gonna show. First thing you want to do is go over a control point. Right? So as long as I take a control point, I have control of that point. In essence, I have control of the whole body. Simple. Right? Now, go ahead. Well, you do what you want to. All right. Now, what I'm doing here, his base is too low, right? And it's coming in for a good growth, but because I noticed it, and I can control where he's going, I bring his base down. Now, nerve in, simple, right? So we're gonna use a lot of nerves, a lot of control points to gain this pain point. You want to show me? All right, so if I come here, grab the point, 1 5. And I'm controlling this side. Now I have complete control of this. Alright. So, now when I talk about the nerves, you know what that grab is? And the grab. Alright. If I come here, and I press the nerve, it disrupts the body. Right? Now a lot of people do pressure points, so a lot of people call things different points, but really this is long nerve, right? And all your pressure points are simply nerves. Okay? So they're energy pockets in the body. So you learn what the energy pockets are, learn how to disrupt it. And it makes things a lot easier. Right? So after I disrupt it, oh, Now take control again. Right? From here, we can walk like this. Whatever you decide to do. But we don't want to strike a lot because, like I said, we're going to control without hurting. Right? So, good hold. So if I come here and I press this, it disrupts his body. Right? And if I stretch it out, right, you're not supposed to like it, so. Alright, so what I'm showing you right now is the way that we touch people, right? So there's a difference between pressing the nerve and stretching the nerve. Alright? Either way you're gonna get compliance, but pressing the nerve is gonna disrupt the body. Stretching the nerve is gonna give you control. Okay? I know a lot of law enforcement teach things like come along locks, but alright. You ready to come in, take you here, and walk. Alright? I know you've seen some people seen this before. Alright, I don't go for a lot of these come along locks. Reason being, if you know what you're doing and the lock is not applied correctly, you can slip right out of it. And now you got trouble on your hands. Okay? So rather than to do simple come along locks, we're gonna make sure that we take control completely. Right? So as you come back in with that punch, as I block off, I'm gonna grab this wrist. Right? Now, as I step in, I'm gonna stretch him out. Now what that does, that allows me to rock the body. Okay? Now once I stretch him out, I have good control over the body just from what? It's control point. So everywhere I take him, or everything that I do, I'm gonna do it with the control point. Alright? Alright. So as we use our control points and we use our nerve endings, we're going to put them together and make sure that we cannot get struck back and that we maintain control as soon as the threat comes. Right? Come with another grab. Okay, now I have complete control, right? We're going to go wherever I want to go. Just for a little extra. Controlling him and subduing him without hurting him. Now he may be in pain while I have him, but guess what? As soon as I let him go, he's all right. Right? You go shoot basketball, whatever you want to do. So that's the goal. We want to gain compliance and gain control without hurting someone. And this is what I teach law enforcement and bodybuilding. So, okay. So, situation where you know a throw is coming, I will go here, swipe his eye, inside, to the top. Like I told you, back of the neck is the throw point also. So once you take control of your head, your neck, you have to go back. Right? You gotta be careful with that, because you don't want to go too far. Right? So grab it good. So we're gonna go again, turn it, grab. Right. See, I still have his hand. So if I wanted to modify, I'll come down, keep him up here, hang on. Okay? Come here. Come off the punch. Come up into the throat. Strike again. Now, we're going to take his arm. Hold it down. Go to the side. Alright. Hold it back up. Bring it down into the back foot. But it's all about making sure that you have your angle right. Making sure that when you take control, you know how to properly hold. So for these locks, so if I'm gonna come, we got make sure my My thumb is on the middle knuckle. Make sure that this thumb is completely wrapped up. And a lot of people I see going back with this. What I like to do is I like to take the pinky and bring it back around to this. So, ooh. Either way, it allows you to control. And once you take control, you keep it. Right? So it's about transitioning from one thing to the next. Now, initial lock, I'll take into control. Now I rotate the arm, step things back. Right? And now, I'm going to make it work. That's right. So this is how we control people, okay? Now, as we merge into our opponent, or whoever we're dealing with, we want to keep in mind that they can very well hurt us easily, right? But the thing about merging is if a person isn't trained on close quarter strike, once you get this close, they're not going to be able to hurt you. But the amount of damage that you can do is unlimited because you know what you're doing. You know how to get into the body, you know how to control the body, and you know how to not get hurt. Right? Give me another point. So as I come in, I have an instructor, but I have complete control. Right? And that's the merge. What you're seeing there is the merge. As I come, see I'm locking that wrist to my back. And I'm above his elbow. So I have that control point. Right? So now I can walk it. I can control it, take him wherever I want him to go. One, two, three. Right. Now, what I was expecting him to do is sit down. That's mostly what happens when you do this technique. Sit down in the style in front of you. But even if the opponent doesn't do exactly what you plan for them to do, you still keep control. So you have the control and you keep the control. So if I grab it again, one, bring the point over, take the neck, take control. One more time with that strike. Right? So once I come here, I'm step in, bring him over. Bring it up. And now I have that control once again. So you can work the control from the top to the bottom. But as long as you maintain a control point. My control point here was the knee. Alright? So I took control of the knee, and that's going to take control of the body. Now, we've shown the neck, above the elbow, lower back, and the knee. I'm not going to go into ankle because it's easy to hurt someone using the ankle, right? It's one of the most dangerous control points to use. But, let's go for that grab again. Okay. But we remember, our flesh points, right? Take control of that flesh. And where are my flesh points? Anybody tell me? Anybody remember what I said about the flesh points? Right, right. Loose skin on top of muscle, loose skin on top of your bones. Alright? Okay. Throw that punch again. Alright. So once I come to the eyes, coming inside the elbow, bring the elbow around. Alright? Now at this point I have complete control. Can you hit me, sir?
Yeah.
King.
Bye.
Now, to add on to what I heard from the last seminar, the transverse cervical nerve running down the neck, right, is covered by two muscles. Now, two muscles here on each side that's going to cover it. Okay, you might see pressure point people will approach it from the front, stomach 9. They might approach it from the side, large intestine 18, or they might approach it from behind, what they call gallbladder 20. Feel a little dizzy, right?
Wow.
Right? So, it's a simple things, but with the nerves, it is very easy to disrupt the body with the nerves, okay? So, go for that choke again. Once I come here, and I catch him in the back, right here, right? Just that little bit of pressure right there is enough to make him dizzy. So, now you imagine, right, you feel it in your knee. Now imagine coming with the ridge hand. It doesn't take much. The more you put in, he's gonna go to sleep, right? So when we deal with these nerves, we learn how to strike the nerves and exactly where to strike. So if I'm coming from the front, what they call stomach 9, so like I said, it's transverse cervical nerve. If I come from the front, I wanna go straight in. See how his body is jumping, just disrupting. All right, if I'm coming from the side, I wanna go at a downward angle, all right? And if I'm coming from behind, we're gonna go at the base of the skull and go in a downward motion, all right? All right, you know how to throw a ridge hand, right? Come down, right at the base of the skull. Go ahead, try it. Yeah, that's a little too hard there. Thank you, that was nice. You got the idea, right? Okay, so when you done taking much, just a slight tap, slight tap, slight tap. But you getting your placement right, all right? So when you put all of that into it, you need to be knocking them out. Okay? All right, so again, when we go under control, like if I come here, this gives me control. If I grab this man here and say, come here, I don't have any control of him. I gotta struggle with him. If I grab him here, now I have control. There's no getting away from me, and I have options, okay? That's just like, come on, come with me, come. If I grab this man, or say I grab that man, he's a little more muscular than I am, and I say, come on, let's go. And he doesn't want to come. Now we're in a struggle, right? This is what you don't want. You don't want to struggle with this man to get him to do what you want to do. But if I grab him here, don't come with me. And I say, come with me, sir. He's got to come. This is why we call it a control point. And at any point he gets ready to throw that other hand, I just turn it over. All right? Bring it back.
Oh, that's never done.
Get control of that. I like it. It's like disco fever. All right, so when we control, that's subdue.
Not anymore.
All right. So we're using our nerves to make sure that we can gain complete control of our opponent. All right, stand up. Every time. Every time. Right? Right. Go under bones. Alright? Once you go inside the bone, can you take your hand away from this? Can you try this? Alright? So if you manipulate the body, any skin that's on top of bone, you let them bones in your hand. Right? So you see the 4 balls coming down to the fingers. Simply go up under it. Go inside the bone. Let him feel that. You don't want to go that way?
No thanks.
No, you don't want to. Alright. So every time we grab, we want to make sure that we're grabbing a nerve. We're not grabbing a nerve, we're grabbing a control point. This is how we create our control. So no matter what situation we find ourselves in, we should be able to create the control to turn the situation around. And, you got it? Sure? Go back around. Now, there's that. Take control. Now, don't look like you just lost it. I can tell you where I want to take it. Why is that? Because once you control point, right?
Oh!
I think I have some shoes that can help him out if he needs some.
Don't make me laugh.
So if my backup hasn't arrived, but I have the control, now I can take him there. Alright, now we got complete control. Alright? Alright, now, as I merge, I'm still gonna take control, but my merge, I'm stepping off, right? So if that kick gonna come and hit me every time, alright? But that's the point in the pyramid. Authority. Alright, one more time. So you see, if you don't trip him up, you're gonna put yourself in a position where you wanna be to create your control. Alright. Now, same way that I'm taking them, put them straight down, then I go opposite. Or opposite. You have the same point and turn him in. Now once I turn him into me, it makes it a lot easier for me to grab the next control point. Right? So you take control, you gotta use your leverage. Everything is leverage. Once you everybody got something out of that?
Give a round of applause to the man that laid there in the corner, took a nap, but he's back and at it with us now. Yeah, it's work, you look good now, man, you all right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
If anybody wants to stay, he wants to do another technique or two, but you all, after this class, you are dismissed.